It has been 14 weeks since I called it a season in June. And I thought, what better way than to come back, than to visit Milne Park, a place I've been running at for 20 years at this point. So right back to the old stomping grounds. And upon arriving, what better way than to come and see the Colts Classic, which is held by Bill Crothers Secondary School. It's a cross-country meet. And I went to that school. All 4 years I competed at this meet, I won it. When I was in high school, I won it. And looking at all these young athletes, you realize how old you are, or at least I realize how old I am. I was these people's age, 17 years ago when I entered high school, and about 13 years ago since I left. And it's just a stark difference compared to how they look and to how I look. And it's weird because I don't imagine myself looking old. I still feel like I have a similar mind to when I was younger, but then I look at these people, these young athletes, and they are clearly younger than I am. And why I bring this up is it reminds me or highlights what I've been feeling lately and what I've been thinking about my mortality in this sport. There's three things certain in life: death, taxes, and retirement from competitive running. And seeing these young men and young ladies makes me think again that I'm towards the end of my journey than towards the beginning. I don't have another 17 years of competitive running in me. And it's been extremely frustrating these last 2 seasons. In 2024, I was doing something stupid. I hit my knee really hard jumping a fence. And I was out for a few months, so I didn't get a good season last season. And this season, right around when I started this YouTube channel, which was originally a training vlog to make the Tokyo 2025 World Championships, right around when I started feeling this pain in my right foot. And I was running through it, and it eventually got extremely bad where I was, for the bulk of the series, for the bulk of my training this year, I've been running with altered form, and I've been running without that oomph in my stride. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I was lacking the power in my stride, and I'm lacking the confidence to put full weight on my right leg just because it would hurt my foot so bad. And it was really highlighted running anything faster than 14 seconds for 100 meters. But that was then, this is now. I'm back. Today was my, I think, 5th or 6th run back. I'm up to 15 minutes of easy running right now. And I broke it into 5 times 3 minutes today. I won't be running 15 minutes straight for a while. I won't be sprinting for a while. But it's good to be running again. At the same time, I'm scared, I'm terrified, because anyone who's been injured like this knows that it doesn't just go away. And it can very well come back. So you're always hesitant to say I'm back. You're always hesitant to tell people that you're back. It's just scary. It's scary. I'm running now. Maybe tonight my foot's going to be sore again, or tomorrow I won't be able to walk properly. And it's just these kind of things that drive you nuts, and which is why I like to take things one day at a time. Even though for myself and this channel, I have these massive goals of, I still have my childhood goals. I want to make an Olympic team. I want to make a world championship team. Ideally, I want to win, right? Which kid doesn't want to win the Olympics or the world championships? And I still have those childlike dreams, but I'm mature enough to know that during these difficult times, you have to take a step back, and you have to just look at one step ahead of you and just keep trying to get ahead of that one step. And if you fall one step back, just keep looking at that one step. Because when you start looking at these grandiose plans, when things come smashing down again and you're in the doldrums of your mind and your body is in shambles, it's so hard on you. But if you've kind of expected it in the first place, it's way more forgiving. You know, when I was in Japan, I was talking to this really good international caliber coach, Canadian. I've known him for a while, my dad knows him. And we're talking about Canadian athletes coming through high school and university and how they can be funneled into being professional athletes who compete on a team, and how it's very difficult for athletes coming out of high school because of all the choices they have and all of the wrong turns they can take with training and lifestyle along the way. And he turned to me and he said, "You were a 5-star recruit." And I was. I was one of the biggest hopefuls to becoming like the next big thing in Canada, especially in my own mind and in everyone around me's mind. Yet I only competed one high school season as a freshman in high school. And my grade 10, 11, and 12 year, I was injured the whole high school season. And yet my grade 10 and 11 year, I was able to come back at the very end of the summer. And when I was 16, I ran 8:25 for the 3,000 meters at under 18 nationals, which I won. And the next year, when I was 17, same thing. I trained for about a month and I ran 3:52 for the 1,500 meters, which won me nationals at the time. These times would not win nowadays. But even with my high school career, it earned me a full scholarship to the States in the NCAA in Division I, and I was set up for success. But success didn't come. I was worked to the bone in the NCAA. My first 2 years there, I only spent 2 years there, were very rough. I was running faster in grade 9 than I was in most of my college career. So I came back after 2 years and things only got worse. I had 7 years of injuries. I strained my hamstrings, each of them between, I don't know, 8 and 11 times, 8 to 12 times. I can't even remember, I strained it so many times. I had 2 surgeries, one in my right knee, one in my left ankle. And whatever dwindle and hope my life had for running, being that 5-star recruit, went right out the window. It was very hard mentally, and I was expected to go the way of everyone else. I'm not the first one to have done this. I'm not the first one to be a hopeful and then never pan out. They're a dime a dozen. But like everyone else, I was kind of expected to just kind of, you know, go along my way, go out with a whimper. Nobody really knows what happened to me. They say, like, whatever happened to that Eamonn? That's what was expected, and rightfully so in my opinion. But unlike most people, I stuck with it way longer than I should have. And by the time I came back, I had a bunch of life experience, not just with athletics, but with the mental stuff that comes along with trying to train full time and navigate life. You have the financial stress and the financial experience of trying to pay your dues while you navigate life, and just living's expensive, as you all know. And just general life things too. Life is hard. And I'm not trying to say my life is harder than anyone else's. Everyone is going to have their own difficulties in life, and it's going to get hard for you. I guarantee it. But as an athlete, it was extremely difficult to navigate until I was 27 years old, and I came back when I was 27, and I ran my first track race, and there was no one around that I remember from before. I used to be the guy, or people used to say, "Oh my God, I think that's Eamonn. Is that Eamonn? Is Eamonn competing today?" And then now I would show up, and they would go, "Who's this old guy?" Nobody knew who I was. Even the coaches that I knew back then were retired, or some even passed away. I was gone for a long time. Yet when I came back, I had a renewed appreciation. I had an appreciation before, but when I stepped on the track and I raced the first time, I ran a 1:51.6 800 meters, my very first race back, which was a personal best. I remember almost crying after that. I remember that was just one of the happiest moments of my life, just because after all that, I was still something. And to me, I was still something. I was still an athlete that was worth it. And being worth it is very vague. I can barely describe what it is to you, but it's to me. I felt proud of myself. I felt that I did it. I felt that I can maintain a relatively elite level, elite by my standards, even after all those years and after all the hardships and all the setbacks and all the doctors saying I wouldn't run again or I wouldn't run competitively again. I literally had a doctor, I asked him straight up after one of my surgeries that kind of went wrong. I said, will I be able to run again? And he said, I don't know, because it was so bad. That's a story for another time, but that was a bad circumstance. And I even have the war wounds for some of these injuries, not so much the surgeries anymore. I'm pretty much over those, but I have some chronic hamstring issues that have gotten better with proper training, but they're still there. I especially feel them when I'm out of shape, like right now, and they're just like a constant soreness, a constant reminder in the places where they've torn before, or I've had tears. I didn't have a complete torn hamstring, but like good tears though. And when I was back too, it was, you know, I met a bunch of athletes, these younger athletes, and some of the commentary I got is why am I even still running? And you would think it would be insulting or, you know, like bullying, but these guys are so much younger than me. I just turned the other cheek because it's to me it's funny. Like I said before, life's hard. They just haven't experienced how hard life is yet and how unfair things can be, and things could be so unfair to you. And when bad things happen to you or setbacks happen to you, you realize how lucky you actually are. You realize that things could be so much worse and how good you have it. And guys, I have it good. I wouldn't change all my experiences for anything. And the reason why I bring all of this up too is I wouldn't change what I'm doing now for the world. When you're going through your late teens and early 20s and running isn't going well, you can't help but compare yourself to your peers. You can't help to compare yourself to people doing better than you. And a lot of time your family and your friends also put pressure on you, like, why are you still running? Why are you still doing this? And they just don't understand like the heartache you're going through in that moment and how hard you're working and how hard the sport is. But track is a ruthless sport. It doesn't care what your feelings, it doesn't care what you're going through. Are you going to show up today? Are you going to show your years of training, of fitness today? If not, you're not going to do well. And it doesn't help that when you're not doing well, that it feels like the rest of your life is also piling on you. And that's just how it works. People, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible, are like wolves. When you're injured, that's when they pounce. And I don't mean this in a negative way. What I mean this is in when things aren't going well for you, that's when everyone else is going to remind you things aren't going well from you. Whether it's they mean the best, like your parents saying, listen, you need to, you know, take a step away from running because I want you to take your life seriously, or whether it's from, you know, someone else saying like, why are you even running anyways? You're so slow. It all comes when you're not doing well. And that's when it hurts the most and when you're least capable of dealing with it too. So if you're running right now and you're going through that, I'm gonna tell you just to stick through it. I know it's a very common piece of advice that I give, but that's all you can do. And you just gotta keep going and keep making the right decisions and the right adjustments in your training. Find the best possible people to coach you. And I feel like I've done that, and I've returned to running again. This isn't my first rodeo. This isn't my first comeback of an injury. But going forth, we're gonna focus on this season for just getting back running again. There's no World Championships or Olympics. So we're going to really focus on building back better. And we're going to focus on just enjoying running fast, running pain-free, and being so strong that the year after we can make another run at World Championships and the Olympics, because I still, in my heart of hearts, know that I can do it. And we're gonna film this whole thing. And the good thing is if I'm able to do it, and I'm 31, you know, going on 32 next year, you can definitely do it too. It's gonna be hard. A lot of unfair things are gonna happen, but you'll be able to do it. So if you're interested on coming along with this journey and continuing with me, I'd really appreciate that you like and subscribe to this channel. We will also be filming more videos about commentary on professional running and other things like that. My channel seems to like those kind of videos, so we're going to continue with that, but we're also going to start returning very soon to the vlog stuff. The training vlogs. Now, I don't know how soon we're going to return, but once I feel comfortable in my running, we're going to return to it. And yeah, on that note, guys, I'll see you next time.